Wow. That is okay. So that's like, it was funny. One time I was trying to describe it to somebody saying, when they found the new world, right? There was people that came over here saw tons of opportunity, right? And so even if people back east said it was a joke or a scam, whatever, they didn't care what they said because they knew it wasn't, right?
Yep.
And then it started to, people started to develop and use resources, and then other people came by and said, "Hey, what if I could build a system where goods could be transferred between New York and Hartford, Connecticut?" And they built
Mhm.
that, right? So that's what I'm seeing in some this economy is like not only is building the in like just discovering it is part of it, but so many opportunities to grow it. I mean, it's just like it's at square one right now because there's going to be more problems. There's going to be logistical issues. There's hundreds of thousands of companies have been born yet that will need to be born out of this
Yep.
thing, is what I was seeing. Am I right?
Yeah, and there's a lot of things coming now with decentralization, which is what
Yeah.
I'm super excited about. So, like for example, a company, the Subsocial, anybody, so they're providing like imagine they give you like the blueprint for Facebook, they give you the blueprint for Reddit, and they're gonna have all these blueprints. You can come in with no programming knowledge and start your own social media out the gate that cannot be shut down or censored.
God, that's amazing.
And that's what's very exciting about this. Like people think like, oh no, it's like, so should I get an account on Subsocial? I'm like, not unless you want to create your own social media network, which you might want to do. But what's cool about it is it's unlike Facebook or Reddit or any of these places, especially now, are censoring
Oh
everything
yeah.
that they don't agree with. You now have this whole network because Parler tried to start up, right? And what did they do? Amazon and Apple got together and said, we are not going to allow this to happen. I'm sure Facebook was
Wow.
in their ears, but it was Amazon. They said, oh, because of hate speech on the platform, because, there's no hate speech on any other platform. So they're hiding behind the government to censor to whatever narrative they want to push by whoever's funding them. So what's cool about this project is it'll be a way that I don't care what you think. It stays up and there's no way to shut it down. It's running on the blockchain. Like it's not running like you can't shut it down. They're gonna put more and more of this stuff out there where it'll almost be like the new internet, where you trust the thing that can't be distorted. Like you can't change the algorithm. In Subsocial, one of their big things is when you download our template, it is a standard algorithm that cannot be changed. So if you don't like a topic that someone's bringing up, tough luck. You cannot change that. You cannot change content based upon whatever you feel is right or wrong as
Wow.
the owner of the platform. And they built
What
that into
issues do you see? Do you see any issues with that? I mean, do you think some of the content stuff and publication stuff like that? I mean, is that all just maybe fluff or something that just is a problem that people have created that doesn't need to be there, or do you think that will be an issue on the blockchain on these different in this
I
different?
think communication is never a bad thing. I think silencing people, I think, is always a bad thing. Like, should people be going online and saying, I want to kill all the certain whatever? Like, yeah, that's not a good thing. But I think people should have the rights. If they're committing a crime, then they should be arrested. If you're not committing a crime and you just want to say something, you should be able to say it. So,
Well, then people would understand why the person got arrested, right? Because it's still up there.
yeah, it's like, okay, if you say you're gonna, you know, kill somebody or you want to kill a certain type of person and that's against the law, well, guess what? You're gonna get caught. Then you're gonna get in trouble. But it is not up to Zuckerberg to come up with some kind of crazy algorithm to say we think because of this and this narrative, we're gonna fact check it or we're gonna do this, we're gonna
Yeah.
do that. It's not worth it.
Well,
So
what's nice about it is it's like it's truth, right? It's like that's the thing of the blockchain is that you can't hide, can't censor. It is what it is. Like your sins follow you around, and hey, that's life, right? But it's truth. That you don't like it, okay, or if it hurts, okay, but it's truth, right?
yeah.
So what else
And
do you
it
want? I mean, yeah, do you want truth or do you want censorship? I don't know. I mean,
and I
I
and
think
I
truth,
think
but
that's what you're gonna end up having with as this it's gonna hit like I think over the next year like a tidal wave. And again, I could be completely wrong, but I think over the next year you're gonna see Polkadot and Kasama and all these vendors and all these projects, they're going to be able to work together in ways that no other crypto has ever been able to do. I think there's just so much infrastructure, so much money, so much development. It's going to change hypothetically change the way we all go online. And maybe it'll take 5 years to fully implement, but I bet you within 5 years, when you look at the top 50 cryptocurrencies, I would not be surprised if more than half were all running on DOT.
Yeah, and I think, yeah, no, I agree. I mean, I agree, and I think you have to keep. Well, the thing is that things change so fast, so you have to watch. At least you have to watch this stuff. At least that's how I'm thinking. Is look, there's no way. It's really hard to keep up with the changes and stuff to keep assessing it or what horse to bet on. But you look at this whole thing, and it's like, look, I'm invested in this ecosystem. I don't know how it's going to evolve necessarily, but I know it's not going away. I know what the possibilities are, and I know it's going to keep growing, growing, growing. It seems like it's almost impossible to keep up with everything that's going on unless you just totally obsess with it, and that's all you do.
Which is why I'm debating on starting like a paid course, just so I can monetarily get something back, like a small membership fee.
Yeah.
Because I do like to share, but I get inundated with messages. And I mean,
Well,
our
at some
group's only
point you have to make a
250.
living too. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah. For me, it's fun. I'd actually be taking a pay cut. Like I get $500 an hour for marketing consulting, and I get it all day.
yeah,
And I have
yeah,
a company. But I was going to charge $20, $30 a month per member. And basically that, like, now I can rationalize making a more professional looking doc,
yeah,
updating my picks, why I think they're good picks and why I'm investing in them. Um, there's that part of it. But at the same time, then if you charge, people expect a certain level of quality there. So we'll see what happens. But it is like it takes half my day right now to go through this stuff and learn this stuff. And I usually hit it first, and then people ask me questions because they're hitting the same problems, which I know I can walk them through in a couple minutes.
yeah,
But when you have 20 people a day messaging you, and each one takes 5 to 10 minutes, that's a lot. It's a
yeah.
lot.
No, I just saw this. There was a course that came out about blockchain technology, and I was at MIT or something, and I'm like, yeah, I want to take that, and I'm all into it. My wife's like, why are you so into the crypto stuff? I'm like, if you understood it, you would understand why I'm so into it. Right?
Yeah.
It's not that you're just not, it's not about like being smart or people say, oh, it's too complicated stuff. It is complicated, but you can understand it. You just got to take the time to do it. Or you're just going to wait until the ship leaves and you're going to have to catch up eventually. That's what I'm seeing. It's not going anywhere.